a chopless flight chops on this episode of Taking Off. Hey everyone, Dan Milliken here. This episode brought to you by Gold Seal, groundschool.com, and Wingfield Aviation, your go-to aircraft maintenance facility. All right, we're here at OshKosh, and we've been talking to a lot of different people. We were able to catch up with our Canadian friend, Steve Thorne from FlightChops. Steve, you went through a hectic last couple weeks here in the run-up to this. Tell me about what you had to overcome to get here to AirVenture.
The biggest thing we had to overcome was trying to get the 25-hour fly-off done in time and then deal with the engaging with Transport Canada basically 3 times. So just to get the airplane out of the 25-mile radius, okay, so just to fly the airplane, we first had to do an inspection, obviously. In the US, I understand you guys get the inspection, they sign it off and say, go fly.
Right.
You can fly the same day.
Right.
Not us. So you do the inspection, then they take that home, it gets peer reviewed, and then you've got to hope that they get it back to you in some reasonable amount of time.
And then you can fly the 25.
Then you can do your first flight.
Holy cow.
Then you can start your fly off. So for us, that was stressful because we did the inspection, we passed, and then he said, cool, okay, I don't know, it should be a week or 2. We're like, what? Like, we're so tight. We did the first flight. We got it done fairly quick. I think it was 10 days to get that paperwork. First flight was June 23rd, and I had to have it here on July 22nd, so I had less than 30 days from first flight to get it here. But then to do the 25-hour fly-off, which you guys have 40, right?
Right.
But ours is trouble-free. So you can put snags in there.
Yeah.
My understanding is the 25 trouble-free, you have to restart if you get a snag. And I don't know if it's cumulative. My understanding was we need 25 with no snags. So our first flight, we had a couple snags. Obviously, it's almost impossible not to. So then we had to fix the snags and get going again on those 25. And then we were up against the clock because after the 25, then we can apply for the actual cert of airworthiness that lets us leave what we got was the 25-mile radius limit to do those 25 hours.
Wow.
And this airplane is fast, so I got a picture of the screen in there because we're based out of Windsor, Ontario, which is right near Detroit. So there's the river and there's the lake and there's the Class Bravo. So you get this very small patch of land because we don't go over water. So literally every single...
Just burning circles.
Well, we did autopilot squares and we filled up every single piece of that land with like the spaghetti, you know. So that got done. And to finish it, because of weather and so on, the final push, Dave and I did a tag team day where we flew 13 hours in one day.
Oh, wow.
To just finish it out.
Wow.
And then get the paperwork, the final paperwork to leave. I got that while I was installing the vinyl a week ago Monday, which is like 8 days ago today, to get here. So it was right. That was the biggest challenge, was getting it done in the time we had to make this deadline.
Then you had customs and border.
Yeah, so that wasn't really too bad. I was worried about
it,
but I came through as business. I've been told what I need to get home, and it shouldn't be a problem, but you know, it is what it is. We'll see how that goes. I just want to get here. So clearing was actually painless. I was stressed about it. My landing, I cleared in Pontiac, Michigan, and my landing kind of sucked. Because on final, I remember thinking, this is where it all falls apart if this doesn't work. And I shake it off, like, you're on final, just shut up and land the plane. Because the other thing is, I really only got to land it like 6 or 8 times because all those flights were like 3-hour flights. And I didn't get to practice pattern work either because you're breaking it in, right? So the airplane is like 75-80% power, and this thing goes like a $170 indicated.
Oh, wow.
So I'm screaming into the pattern at a $170 and then trying to slow down on base, get it configured for landing. So I never practiced patterns because we didn't want to do any low power setting work, right? Keep the engine hot.
It in, yeah.
And it's like nitrated cylinders and all that stuff. So it's like the Thunderbolt, right? It's the sexy new hotness. So they told us like it's going to be a 25-hour break-in, maybe more. So we didn't see oil consumption come down until this trip, really. I started seeing it finally. Initially, we were at a quart every 4 hours. And on this trip, I think it got down to like, we saw maybe 3/4 of a quart in 6 hours. So it's like, okay, consumption's coming down, the CHTs are coming down. I think we're seeding those rings or however all that works. I'm not so good on all that stuff, fully understanding how it works. So anyway, I'm still gonna treat it like I'm breaking it in, even going home. So
absolutely.
I'm not gonna be doing like slow flight. So I'm glad I got to skip the arrival because I came in the day before the NOTAM came into effect.
Oh, really? So you're here like Wednesday, yeah.
So I published the video. So what I did was we got it here on Wednesday. I helped out with this stuff on Thursday, and then I locked myself up in the hotel for like 3 days straight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to publish the video of arriving Sunday. Yeah, I did that. I managed to publish that Sunday. So it's been live for like 3 days, and that was almost real time.
So in doing the video stuff, Did you ever imagine that it would become this big of a deal? I mean,
No,
did
of
it
course
start
not.
as a side hustle? And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was me making the thing I wished existed. It was a definite case of if you build it, they will come.
Right.
There was no question I did not want to, like I had no interest in chasing revenue or
Right.
I just wanted to make a thing that I thought should exist. And I think that authenticity really kind of made it.
So
I think.
today, what's the most rewarding part of being a YouTube aviation celebrity?
Well, you saw it happen. That lady came and shook my hand and said, I got my instrument rating because I saw you struggle through it. Like I shared what my wife watched me go through that when I finally got it done, and she said, I've never seen you so low at times because the instrument rating was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like I'm 46 and I did it as a 44 or 45-year-old a couple years ago. That book work was super hard, and I can fly stick and rudder, but some of the stuff I had to memorize and get my head around, like that was the hardest thing I've ever done, and sharing that publicly. And it took me 5 years, to be honest, from the time I started talking about doing it, because the channel started happening and I started getting a lot of cool opportunities. So like a common thing was people would say to me, wow, why is it taking you so long to get it when I didn't have it yet, right? And my answer typically to them was, how many solo T6 landings you got? Right? It's like, I got opportunities and I took them.
Right.
That's why I couldn't just focus on instrument. But I did decide in 2019 to just get it, so I made the content of the IFR vlog,
Right.
where I think what she was talking about, I just showed the painful, awkward.
The realness.
Yeah, I mean, and I did fail my written the first time I tried to write it, which was very demoralizing. And I shared that.
Well, it's important. I mean, we need to see everything because
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
inspiring.
So I think I don't have the chops on right now, ironically, because I was so stressed getting this all done, I forgot to bring my shaver, and it's like, whatever. I just gotta get the airplane here.
So, Steve, FlightChops is chopless.
Yeah, you can cut to the logo.
Cut to the logo.